cool. And yes, please make sure if everything's okay, your connections or whatever. Okay. If you are ready, please say yes. Okay. So before start chapter 5, okay, I just want to make sure our schedule. Okay, chapter 5 is timing of entry, today meeting, and then next week we're going to talk about strategic decision, chapter 6, and innovation projects, chapter 7, 2 chapters. Then we're going to continue exam, presentation, and simulations. Okay. The key of the simulation is very simple. You're learning. So apply the concepts that are discussed in the class into your simulations, whatever topics. Okay? So your simulation is, I just a little bit talk about these simulations, but when you take a class in a business school, it is a problematic. Okay? You just focus on the only single dimensions of business. So think about that. Finance, you just focus on finance things. Marketing, you just focus on marketing things. Operation management, you just, focus on operations. Okay? Then there is no opportunity to intermingle all of these multiple dimensions in a single context. Okay? So actually this simulation will provide that opportunity. Okay, so my focus is always you are learning. Okay, you are learning. Okay? So I hopefully you enjoy this opportunity. Okay. All right, let's start with the warm-up keys. Again, this topic is very simple. Okay, so today class won't be very long. Okay. All right, so please go ahead. Okay? On Canvas, and you can find right now chapter 5 warm-up keys. Okay? I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. Then we wanna discuss this quiz afterwards. Okay? Then when you're done, please say done. Just type it. Okay. So it's 1:45 p.m. Okay, please go ahead, take the warm-up keys. When you're done, please type down. I'm gonna mute my microphone for your quiz. Okay, you guys are so fast. Anyone needs more time? I need more time, please let me know. All right, let's talk about that. Okay, very simple topic. Okay, when to get into the market. Okay, so first mover, later movers. Okay, that's it. Okay, this topic is all about first mover, second mover, later movers. Okay, all right. Number one, early leaders are firms that are the first to enter the market. True or false? I don't know about early leaders. What is this? Okay. Probably first movers. Okay. First movers are firms that are the first to enter the market. So this is false. Number two, the initial cost of good itself can be a switching cost. True or false? Yeah, Emily, says yes, it's true. Yeah, she knows. All right. So switching cost. Okay. Switching cost. Okay. It's a burden, right? Burden. Okay. Performance. Okay. Number three, in an industry characterized by increasing returns to adoption, we know this, right? Increasing returns to adoption. We talked about that. Okay. There can be powerful advantages. There can be powerful advantages to being an early provider. True or false? Yeah, think about that. True or false? Anyone?
It's true.
It's true. Okay. Why?
So basically, one of the things that the chapter had talked about was with increasing advantages and stuff. Basically, if you're an earlier provider, once you establish sort of a reputation, there's training around that. So if somebody's adopting something for their whole company, they're going to be training all of their employees and everything on how to use the system. And so basically, like, there will be heavier switching costs for them, even if a new, better technology comes along, because they've already sunk a lot of resources into training.
Exactly. All right. Great points. Thank you, Emily. All right. So I absolutely agree with the Emily's points. And also, we can think about standard battles. Okay? So if this industry is characterized by increasing returns to adoption, you need more users, okay? Then you can make a standard if you get into the market early, all right? That's why we can say it's a powerful advantages, okay? The first movers. Okay, great. Thank you, Emily. Number four, first movers, okay, typically invest more in exploratory research than late in entrance. Yes, that's true. All right. So now we have a good sense about first mover, late entrance. Okay. First mover, firstly invest in R&D and then get into the market, or it creates market. Right. Then it can educate customers. It can establish the standard in that industry. Okay, rate entrance following this first mover. Okay, the problem is it seems that first mover is always beneficial, but it's not. Okay? That is the main point of this chapter. First mover it seems like beneficial, but not always. Okay, because we need to think about benefit and also cost. Okay? First movers, yeah, absolutely, they have a benefits. Okay, but they also have cost. Right? They have to educate customers. They have to invest in uncertain R&D projects. Okay, they have to wait some time. Customers are ready to purchase their product or service. Okay? So there are some benefits and cost for first movers. Okay? Sometimes benefit is greater than cost, sometimes not. Okay? So we see many cases. Okay? In some industries, first movers actually becomes a leading companies. But in many industries, first movers just failed and late entrants actually dominate the industry because the cost of the liability of newness was so great in that industry. Okay. Number 5, other things being equal, less custom uncertainty favors earlier timing of entry. True or false? How do you think? True or false? It's true, right? It's true. Okay. All right. So probably, yeah, you agree with this. Number 6, if entry barriers are high, entering a market early becomes necessary. True or false? Emily, is false.
It's false.
Jesse is false. Why false? Jesse? Anyone tell us why this is false? Emily, go ahead.
If there are a lot of barriers to entry, it becomes a lot riskier to be in a early like to enter the market early, because you will have a lot more costs associated with like informing your consumers, putting marketing out, telling people what it actually is. And so a lot of times it's less risky to actually let somebody else do that groundwork first and then just come out with a better product.
Okay, all right, good point. So you can wait. Simply speaking, you can wait. But the point is that you should be ready to get into the market anytime. All right. So you are ready, then wait. Okay. That can be a good strategy if entry barriers are high. Okay. All right. Jesse is typing something, so I want to see it before we move. All right. Okay, I see. All right. All right. Jesse was typing for the next question. Okay, number 7. A firm intending to refine an earlier entrance technology should avoid fast cycle development process. True or false? It's false, right? It's false. Huh? Pursue fast cycle development process. Huh? So, in any case, firms should be ready in terms of technology to get into the market. Then it depends on your strategy or the environments. Okay? When to get into the market. Okay? So it is very important to understand. Okay? Your technology should be ready, but when to get into the market, it depends on your strategy and your environments. Okay? So this is the central notion of this chapter. All right. If you understand this, we're done. Okay. All right. Any question, comment? All right. If you're done, I want to move. Great. We are here. Timing of entry. Okay. And then next time we're gonna talk about this formulating technological strategy. Okay. So this part is simply speaking, the fundamental frame of strategy management. Reduce cost, increase product differentiations. So your technology reduce cost, increase product differentiations, then you will have a competitive advantage. Okay? So we will talk about this one. And okay, let's talk about 6 degrees Stockholm to phase two. Okay, all right. So both companies are characterized by adoption to increasing, right? Okay. So let's talk about that social networking. All right. Actually, this case was pretty good case in the some years ago, but these days social networking sites are so obvious case. But anyway, we'll talk about that. So please, I'm gonna create your breakout rooms, and I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's good. So I'm gonna mute my microphone for your discussions, but I'm here. Please join with your team. All right, welcome back. Okay, welcome back. So your discussion was okay? All right, great. Okay. All right, let's go straight. Okay? All right, social networking size. There is a flow, okay, rise and fall. Okay. So number one, why did the first social networking sites fail? Is there anything that could have done to survive? Any team? Please go ahead. Please start your discussions. All right, Noah, please go ahead.
So initially, like MySpace or 6 Degrees, they the users felt like there weren't enough friends or like that were members of the social media platform, and so it wasn't like an interesting destination for them, as well as there was little to do on the site just besides inviting and accepting friends. There wasn't much to do after that. So that was a start for the 6 Degrees. And then MySpace, there was like sufficient or insufficient servers to support the amount of traffic that came to the site, causing like severe like like the page loading delays. So just people weren't able to access their pages efficiently, and that was also a huge issue as well.
Okay, if you know why they failed, okay, probably you can make some suggestions to solve them. Okay. Any other points? Noah, thank you. Great points. Any other points? So see, this is Noah actually makes a great point. Okay, these points are all about product differentiations. Okay, product differentiations. Okay. So this is an example of product differentiation. Your product, your service should be differentiated from others. Okay, then you can survive because you can increase the value. Okay, all right. Any other point for number one? All right, number two. What factors? Okay, Jesse says something. We talked about how the key to success was a strongly correlated ease of use of networking. Okay, ease of use and networking. Okay. So this Jesse's point is also involved with product differentiations. Okay, the reason I'm talking about product differentiation is it is also related with your simulation too. So think about your simulations. You should provide product differentiations. Then you can increase your revenue. And also you need to think about cost, efficiency. So basically in your simulations, you have multiple set of decisions. Okay. But some decisions just fall into the cost part. Some decisions just fall into the product differentiation part. Huh? So something like your R&D, your product, your strategy, this will fall into the product differentiation part, effectiveness. Okay. Then your like productions, inbound logistics, inventory, production, outbound logistics. These are efficiency part, your cost part. Okay? So basically, your simulation is making you practice cost, low cost, and increase product differentiations. How to do it. Okay, so you're gonna practice this. Okay, every business has the same mechanisms. Okay, right. Number two. What factors made Myspace more successful than Friendster and 6degrees.com? What factors enabled Facebook to overtake Myspace? Anyone? Please go ahead. second. Go ahead, Emily.
One of the things that our group had talked about was Facebook had a lot more, it was like a lot more user friendly. There was a lot more customization that was available. And so like because it had a better user interface, that was one of the things that made it more popular.
Okay. Again, product differentiations. Okay. So product differentiations. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Emily. So if we have very fundamental framework, then every single factors fall into one of these. Okay? Product differentiation or reduce cost. Okay? So this case can be applied in this framework, and also your simulation can apply in this simulation, in this framework too. Okay. All right. So we don't have much information about this industry in this case, but based on this simple case, we say there are some factors that impact to product differentiations. Thank you, Emily. Any other point? All right, number 3. Are there significant switching codes that lock users into a particular social networking site? Switching codes? Probably yes. Okay. Probably yes. Okay. All right. What will determine if Google Plus can overtake Facebook? Okay. This is another good question. Okay. All right. So let's conclude this case over here. Okay. So again, the central notion of this case is very simple. Okay. So your technology determines your product differentiations and cost. Okay. This simple mechanism can be applied in your simulation too. Okay. So all of your decisions in your simulation should be product differentiation and reduce costs. Okay. The one thing I want to add up is very simple. Appropriate technology. The concept of appropriate technology in your simulations. Think about that. Your price. Okay. I saw some your decisions. Okay. The lower price, the better performance. No. Okay. Okay. In terms of marketing, you should determine the level of price. Just think about that. The lower price, the better performance, the better revenue. No. Okay. You need to find appropriate level of price. Okay? Okay. Technology too, the quality of your product. Okay, the better product, the better performance. No, you need to find appropriate level of product. Okay, so appropriate price, appropriate technology, appropriate service. Appropriate level of something is very important. Okay, in your simulation and also in your business too. Okay, all right, great. Let's move. Very simple topic. First mover, all right. Second mover. First mover has a lot of benefits. Okay, brand loyalty, technological leadership, preemption of scarce assets, exploiting by the switching cost, okay, something like this. But there are also the liability of newness, okay. Cost things, high research and development expense, okay. Undeveloped supply and distribution channels, immature enabling technologies, and complements uncertainty of customer requirements. So first mover, okay, has benefit, also cost. Okay. If benefit is greater than the cost, first mover becomes the leading company in that industry. Okay. All right, look at this. But not always. First movers not always becomes the leader of that market. Okay. First mover, okay. Kodak, video camera industry, Kodak and Sony is a second mover, but the winner is a Sony. Okay. So look at this. The winners, there are many industries. Okay? First movers, in this example, only 3 companies. 3 first movers become leaders. Okay? In many cases, followers become the leader of that industry. Okay? It has a lot of implications. Okay? So again, your technology should be ready to get into the market, but your strategy about the entry timing depends on a lot of factors. Okay, not always first mover, not always good. Okay? And factors influencing optimal timing of entry. So many factors. How certain a customer preference, how much improvement does the innovation provide over previous solutions, and the technology are matured. Okay. And do complementary goods influence the value of innovations? Okay. And how high is the threat of competitive entry? Are there increasing returns to adoptions? Okay. And can the firm withstand early losses, market acceptance, and reputation, something like that? Okay. So there are many factors. Some factors can be generalized, some factors cannot be generalized. If you read these factors from your textbook, you can understand easily. So I'm not gonna replicate each factors in my lecture. Okay? So the strategies to improve timing options. Okay? Again, the fundamental strategy is your technology should be ready to get into the market, but you need to wait to find the optimal timing. Okay? So to have more choices in its timing of entry, a firm needs to be able to develop the innovation early, okay, or quickly. So you should be ready. Okay, so think about that. In the very early of this semester, okay, we talked about my paper, real option perspective. Real option perspective is very simple, right? At first stage, you make a toy investment, and second stage, you make a big investment or official investment. Okay? So you can use real option perspective. Okay? When you will get into the market, if you are not sure, you make a very small toy investment in the market. Then you see, okay, your investment, your entrance is working or not. Then if it's working, then you can get into it. Okay? If it doesn't work, you can wait. Okay? You need better resource, better technology, okay? Better information. Okay? Then wait. Then you can try again. All right? All right. That's it. All right. So as I already talked about that, this chapter is very simple. First mover, second mover. Okay. First mover has a benefit and cost. Okay. First mover not always becomes business leader in that industry because there are sometimes cost is much greater than the benefit. Okay. So when to get into the market, right? You can use the real option perspective. If you are not sure, it is very difficult. If it is very difficult to decide it, you can use the real option perspective. First, small toy investment, then seed, then you can decide officially for the bigger investment for the next time. Okay. All right. Any question, comments? If you don't, any question, comment, I want to conclude this today meeting. Please say no. All right, great. So we'll move to the next chapters in the next week, Tuesday, Thursday. Okay. So I will see you on next week. In the next week. Okay. All right. Good job. Good job. All right. You did a great job today. All right. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Emily. Okay. You did a great job, Emily, Jesse, Noah. No. Courtney, thank you. Thank you. All right. Noah, thank you. Thank you. All right.